This is lesson number 144, number skills. We are going to have this in two parts today, so this is part one. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. We did this the other day, and you'll probably hear some traffic in the background because the road's right next to us. So anyway, this is the smallest smiley face, and this is the largest. So we're going to put numbers in the order of smallest to largest. Okay, let's look at the very first set of numbers. We have a 2, a 10, and an 8. So we're going to look for the smallest one. The other day we did smallest, and then we put them in order like that, but I'm going to show you a different way today of putting the smallest and then the largest and then finding the in-between number. Okay, so that might help on some things. Okay, so let's look at 2, 10, and 8, which is the smallest. If you said 2, you're correct. I'm going to take this and put it right by the little one. Now we have 2 left. We're going to look at the biggest one. Which one is the biggest one of those? 10 or 8? 10? You're right. So we're going to put 10 over here. So we only have one left, and it's 8. So we're going to put that in the middle because it's bigger than the 2 and smaller than the 10. So let's count and see if we come to them in the right order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did it. So I'm going to put that back where they were, just right back there. And then we're going to go to the second set of numbers. Here we have a 9, 12, and a 1. Let's see, 9, 12, 1. Which one is the smallest? If you said 1, yeah, it is. Can't get any smaller than that without being a 0. Now let's look at the 9 and the 12. Which one of those do you think is the biggest number? So if you said 12, you're right, because 12 is bigger than 9. So now we have the 1 in the beginning, 12 here. So this one would have to be in the middle. Let's see if it works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They are in order, smallest to biggest. Okay, on the last set of numbers, we have teens. And we know they're teens because all teens start with a 1. So we have a teen, teen, and a teen. So now we can look at the second digit. First digit's a 1, second digit's a 5, 8, and a 2. So let's look at which one is the smallest. 5 and 8 or a 2. Did you say 2 is smaller than the other 2? You're right. So let's put that one here by the smallest one. Now we have a 5 and an 8. Which one do you think is the largest? 8 would be largest, so we're going to put it by the large face. So the 5 would have to be in the middle, right? Let's count from, let's say 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that is in the correct order. Very good. Let's go to the next slide. And I hear some noise in the background, but I don't know. It sounds like a phone buzzing or something. Okay, we have this really cool shape. What is that, a square? No, it's a circle. You knew that, right? Because it's roundy. This is a whole circle. Yeah, I can move it. Oh, I can move it in, behind, and between, and all over the place. And that is a whole circle because it's all stuck together. It's one. It's not been cut. Hasn't been taken apart. This is also a circle. But you see here, it has a line here and a line here. So all of these pieces are the same size. So if this were a, let's say a little pizza, and 4 people divided it up, would they be getting the same size piece? Yeah, they would. So this is cut into 4 pieces, so we call them fourths. Like first, second, third, fourth. This is a fourth. So I can actually take one of these pieces and pull it aside, and now I have my piece of pizza. And the other 3 people can have theirs. Okay, so we can pull that one over there, but I'm just going to concentrate on this one for now, because this one is 1 piece. That's my piece. 1 piece out of how many pieces? Let's see. Let me see back for a minute. How many pieces do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. But I took 1. So I'm going to write on it. How many pieces is this? 1. Now, how many pieces did I start with? I'll write a 4 underneath it. So this means it's 1 piece out of 4. That means the circle was divided into fourths, but I took 1. So this is 1/4. This is 1/4. This is 1/4, because it's each one is 1/4. So, but I only get 1 out of those fourths, and each person gets 1 out of the fourth. So we've got 4 of them if we put them together. So I'm going to take away my writing, and I'm going to kind of move this around a little bit. This is 1/4, and we also call it a quarter. Well, quarter, you've heard that before, right? It's that money, the big one that we've learned about, that is 25 cents. That is a quarter. Well, it's 1/4 of a dollar, and this is 1/4 of a circle. So that means that a quarter means it's 4 pieces. So how many quarters does it take to make a dollar? Let's see, 20. Let me write. I'm going to make little dots. 25, 50, 75, a dollar. So how many pieces of money does it take, if you're counting quarters, to make a dollar? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to, if you look at it or you think about it, a fourth is a quarter of a dollar. So it's 1/4 of a dollar. So same thing with a circle. Okay, so let's put that back where it was. Oh, before we do that, I wanted to also mention that in time, they have the clock. If we have let's put the dot in the middle. If we have the minute hand this way, it went only 1/4 of the way around, so it's a quarter of an hour. So that there's also quarters for hours too. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back. Let's go down to speaking of time, we're going to do time now. Now we have a clock here in the the light area, and we have another one in the dark area. Let's look at the time. This is pointing to the 9. The hour hand's shorter, you know that. So this is pointing to the 9, and that one's pointing straight up. So we know this is 9, and that's what? O'clock. This over here in the dark area is pointing at 9, and it's straight up, so it's 9 o'clock. Now wait a minute, this is 9 o'clock and that's 9 o'clock. Does that mean they're the same? Yes and no. It's still 9 o'clock, and that one's 9 o'clock, but this is AM. There's 2 9 o'clocks each day. There's 9 o'clock AM, and there's 9 o'clock PM. See how this is light? This is like in the daytime. So this is 9 o'clock in the day. This is 9 o'clock at night. So at 9 o'clock AM, you might be out in the yard playing, because it's pretty light by then. It's actually, the sun is already up by then. 9 o'clock p.m. Right now, the sun would be down when you do the 9 o'clock p.m. It's really dark out. So 9 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock in the day, in the morning. So that's what a.m. and p.m. is. Same o'clock, but different parts of the day. Okay, so I am going to go down. Oops, I gotta find my next slide. Okay. Here we are. We have the number columns. And we're going to count by twos. We're going to start here. We start at the 0. But we're not going to start here. We're going to go down to here. We're going to count starting at 50. And we're going to stop at 100. So we've already counted up to 50 by twos. Now we're going to count from 50 to 100 by twos. Are you ready? Take a deep breath, because we got a lot of counting to do. Here we go. 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76, 78, 80, 82, 84, 86, 88, 90, 92, 94, 96, 98, 100. We just counted to 100 from 50 by twos. Okay, so I am going to stop this part of the lesson so we can do the rest of the lesson on part 2. So be sure and watch part 2 because you'll need it. It's got the paper on it.